Boys, it's time. It's freaking time. It's time. Inazuma 11 Victory Road is here. Let's freaking go! It's just a demo though. But come on, it's been years. Years of waiting, years of hoping and crying occasionally. Years of everything to get to this point. And finally, we get to touch it. Take a good sniff of it before we set our sights for the full release. I have been debating for a while with myself if I was going to make content about the demo. But as it's been a bit since the last time I'd made anything Inazuma 11 related for my channel, and Inazuma 11 is a large part of my channel, I decided to do a first impression on this demo. Which is somewhat new for me. Again, if we look back to the last piece of Inazuma 11 content I uploaded, it was also something different. A ROM hack / mod overview, so hey, let's continue that line of exploring new types of content and use that as an excuse to make Inazuma 11 content. Obviously, as this is a demo, the experience is not completed. And while it's tempting to play it a lot, I don't want to burn myself out with it, as it's just a smaller piece of something bigger. And that bigger is exactly what I want. I just need to be patient before that is released. But as there's still no release date for the game, it could theoretically still take years before they will release it. Please no. But even so, I am rather left hungry for more than burned out by playing the demo 30 hours. So I decided to give myself 5 hours of gameplay max and make this video. In this video I will be solely looking at the single player gameplay and only the impression it left me. So no multiplayer cover here, as I don't really care for multiplayer in a single player game, but also no story mode cover. I'm trying to just keep it simple and focus on the gameplay. So now, with that all being said, let's see. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but man, let's see what Inazuma 11 Victory Road, the demo, has in store for us. From the trailers, but also from the first moment you play the Inazuma 11 Victory Road demo, one thing becomes clear. That they grabbed the tactical aspects from the DS games and the visual and pace from the Wii games and mixed it up all together to create something new and modern. I thought that it was a very ambitious, risky, but also very interesting and scary direction to take the series. Because don't get me wrong, change is a requirement for the series to reach any potential success. But as a fan, last thing I want is Inazuma 11 to change into something that doesn't capture the spirit and fun that made me love the series in the first place. And well, I am very relieved to say that as far as the demo goes, they managed to pull it off. However, the first hour was very rough and there is a lot of room for improvement there. In particular, the things that orbit around the gameplay. As Inazuma 11 Victory Road is so different from the games before, it introduces many new different mechanics, and the demo does a very bad job at explaining what they all are. Now, if Level 5 is planning to keep this demo around after the release of the game for new players to see if they should buy Victory Road, I would strongly recommend to redo the entire tutorial. In the demo, we only have access to a short, quick video explaining most of the mechanics that are at work here. None of all these mechanics are explained individually and are thrown in a practice session where you can try them out at your own pace until you are comfortable to progress. Which I would say is a required style of tutorial when you introduced this many new mechanics. Because boy, there are a couple of them. Like the AT and DF plays, tension bar, scramble, break, one-on-one, the zone, goalkeeping and defense planning, bond, power, special move, breaches, field tactics, and that is not all of them, just the ones that get mentioned. However, being mentioned does not guarantee that they are well explained, as some of them are even badly explained or not explained at all in this short tutorial video. And that is not the best way to start off, because the gameplay itself is very fast, a little bit unforgiving, and gives you minimal room to figure out on the go. Now, I did screw myself a little bit in my enthusiasm at the start of the demo as well. The first match actually reuses the tutorial video that is available to you, but cuts it up in bits and pieces and shows it to you at moments when you would need it. But because of my own mistake, I was playing against the better/stronger available team, so my impression was that I was doing everything wrong in the tutorial and was just getting my ass handed constantly, which was a very frustrating and annoying situation to get in. However, after that match and the first hour, things started to click with me and my impression made a full 180 at that point. While I absolutely adore the DS gameplay, I am seriously considering calling this gameplay much better. Again, it mixes the good things of both worlds. While it still has a lot of tactical aspect and involves a lot of stats and numbers, it found a very nice balance with player input, meaning that numbers won't completely hold you back. What can hold you back is the speed these matches are played at, because damn, they go fast. Maybe I'm just getting old, maybe that's it, but I miss the moments of pausing that were present in the other games, where the brakes are pulled slightly on your gameplay, giving you more time to consider your situation and take an overall step back to see what you want to do. In the previous game, that brake was pulled whenever you go into a one-on-one or when you get into the position to shoot. And while those moments are still present in Victory Road as well, the game keeps on going while you're getting in those situations. Things keep on going and happening, and it can sometimes pull you straight out of the game as well, because suddenly the opponent decides to do a team tactic just when you wanted to activate your own or wanted to pause. It took me roughly an hour to really adapt to the pacing of the game, and from there I was able to grasp better what actually certain mechanics do and how to use them the best way possible. Two mechanics instantly stood out to me, and those I want to focus on in my first impression. The first one being the one-on-one system you encounter on the field. It's when two players meet. It's a great improved version of what we had on the DS. And once adapted to the pacing, I actually enjoyed the speed these one-on-one moments were done at. In these moments you need to make quick choices and anticipate the opponent, and when you manage to do so and time it correctly, especially as a defender, it feels very satisfying when it all works out. The other mechanic that stands out revolves around shooting/goalkeeping. When you get near the goal, you get into the zone. Time slows down a bit and you can plan out your shot, cross or chain move trying to score. Again, it makes a good balance in tactics, as stats of each player matters for the power of your shot, but also felt player input heavy, as you need to make sure that everything happens accordingly, otherwise your shot will be very weak. The player input heavy feeling that these moments have is especially present when you are defending, as you have to set up defending zones and calculate your numbers if you can block a shot. And the payoff is huge when you put the defenders in the right places, as they will make the difference in a shot being unable to be saved or be saved. And sometimes they can even block shots completely, which just helps you in every other way as well. As a retired football player, I could heavily appreciate this mechanic a lot, especially from a defender's point of view, as that used to be my role on the field as well. What is maybe even better though is that they seem to have fixed the goalkeeper problem the series has suffered of across the board. Normally you just had to bully the opponent's goalkeeper into submission in every match you played so you can score easy goals afterwards. In Victory Road, it still has a similar design with a stamina bar that you must deplete, but once that has happened, the stamina bar resets, meaning that the match isn't all about who depletes the goalkeeper first, and wins at that point because scoring is a piece of cake as you can't block any more shots. In Victory Road, it depends more on stats of your attackers, but also again on your input. You have to make choices that depletes the stamina bar over and over again the fastest. This added a very nice tension throughout the entire match, as you will never get to the point where you just score 4 times and you can call it a day. You are constantly kept on your toes, especially when you're equally leveled with your opponent, which made all the matches fun from start to finish. What is less fun, however, is that a game where your input is heavily based on stats and numbers does a poor job telling you what those numbers are. The numbers shown during the matches are not always clear to read as they float around on the field where the action takes place and have colors that are badly outlined and don't pop that well on the screen, especially when other similar color UI or objects are around it. Heck, sometimes it completely disappears behind the UI. It was a bit of a weird issue to run into considering how the old games work. There, this problem was non-existing. Your numbers were placed next to the opponent's numbers on the screen in a dedicated spot. Easy and quick to read, and from there you make your choices. Here, sometimes it can be hard to read. Another thing that is somewhat hard to read is the tension bar, as it's unclear about what you can do with its contained amount. Like, I don't know if the bar is full 2/3 of the way, how much I can do with that? Is that 2 special moves, maybe 3, or what exactly? It's information that could heavily impact my choices and could make the difference in scoring a goal or not. But I can't really make that choice with the information that is shown and given to me. Just put something like stripes underneath the bar to indicate roughly how many moves are built up in it, or just give it a point value that is easy to read together with the other numbers. It doesn't need to be very complicated, I just want to see it, I want to know that's it really. And this lack of access to information is also present when it comes to moves. Special moves are a bit unclear in their usage. It tries to define them with titles like DF and AT, but some DF moves can only be used as shot blocks while others are all-rounders. Getting information by simply browsing moves of players would solve this, but it's not possible here either. I do hope that in the full release more of this becomes accessible, and to a degree I even expect it to be. This is probably just part of it being a demo, but nonetheless it does leave an impression and it's not the best one. It also does some injustice to the demo, because once the dust settles, or more realistically, you let go of wanting to know the information and numbers and just find a way to play this game, boy, is it good. Absolutely fantastic. To me, this is what the Wii games should have been. It's fast, fun, cool looking, and I mean, the moves have never looked so good before. They are crisp, and every time I unlocked another one, I couldn't wait to see it, and I could never get tired of seeing them over and over again. And maybe more importantly, there are plenty of them. In this demo alone, there are so many of them, which was a huge fear of mine as the trailers and such didn't show a lot of moves. A small quick side note though, I do wish there was an option for Japanese named text for the moves when used. And is it too late to add the dope over-the-top sound effect from the anime where you get the when the names of the moves pop on the screen? Oh well, not everything can be perfect. I mean, the demo is definitely not perfect and has things I am still concerned about. Like unlocks and progression of players in the demo are heavily connected to RNG. Item drops and loot are farmed in matches, and it seems like if you want the most out of matches, it's better to score only once and then farm endlessly for the items until the match ends. Which feels a little bit counterproductive of what a football match should be about. And of course there is the whole spirit thing, which definitely has me very much concerned, as that is the element that ruined the Inazuma 11 Go games for me and is the sole reason I have yet to move on playing the other games in this series. Now, at this point I will sound like a broken record player, but I will say it again, it's just a demo. Things can and will change when the main game releases. That is to be expected. If I look solely at the gameplay, I can only say that I am very pleasantly surprised. Surprised that most of my fears for the game seem to be debunked in a good way. Surprised by the transparency this demo offers us, the fans, for what the game is going to be. And I'm very surprised how well it all seems to work and how well it captures the spirit of Inazuma 11 while being so different from what we know. It's not perfect and we only tested the waters at this point, so take everything we see here with a grain of salt. But really, if this is it, if this is an accurate indication what we're going to get, then boy, are we all in for a treat. But yeah, that is my impression of the demo. Curious to see what other people think of it, so don't be shy and let me know your thoughts on it down below. And don't forget to subscribe for the real Inazuma 11 Victory Road review once that is released. For now, I wish you all a good day, and until next time.